Hi everyone. I want to update you on some of the next steps that we're planning to take after the council and the staff have had a chance to review all the results of the Congregational Assessment Tool survey. I want to thank you again for taking the time to fill that survey out. I know it took a lot of time, but it has provided an incredible amount of insight into who we are as a congregation at this point in our history. It's also taught us what we see as our strengths and where there is energy and desire to grow. I've learned so much about us together as a church because of this survey, so thank you. The first thing that we learned from the survey might seem obvious, but it shouldn't be taken for granted, and that's that Augustana has some really great strengths on which to build our future. Collectively, you indicated there's a high level of energy and satisfaction for the ministries that we have here at Augustana. We are a transformational people. That's what the survey told us. Overall, you confirmed that being a part of Augustana is a source of meaning and purpose in your lives. That is so incredible to hear as your pastor. Being a transformational church also means that we have a willingness to adapt to the needs of the congregation and community so that we can continue to be part of a vital ministry for the future. Now, one thing for us to pay attention to from the survey results is that members who are 55 and older generally have more confidence in our future and energy for our current ministries than those that are younger. Now, this suggests that we might be in a season of intentional adaptability so that we can continue to be the vital church that we've been. This certainly doesn't mean that we need to change everything. We have a strong foundation on which to build. But the way I see it is that we are being called into a season of experimentation, of trying new things and looking at our ministries from a different perspective, even inviting new voices within the congregation to help shape our future together. And we do this all with an eye toward building on our strengths that transform lives through faith. We want to continue to be a transformational church, that the Spirit of God continue to move in us. And one of the things that gives me great hope is that when we look at our top priorities across all ages, we all indicate that we have a desire to grow, especially among younger people. That's a top priority. You indicated 3 priorities, actually. The first is to make necessary changes to attract families with children to our church. The second is to develop and implement a strategy to reach new people and incorporate them into the life of our church. And the third one is to create more opportunities for people to form meaningful relationships, such as small groups and fellowship events and shared meals together. As we look for ways to meet these priorities, I want us all to consider a couple of important questions for ourselves and for us as a whole congregation. The first question is, why do we want to grow, especially among young people and families? Now that might seem obvious, but ask yourself what's really underneath that. What's our motivation for inviting new people, especially young people, to our church? The second question is, what are we willing to adapt or experiment with to make it as easy as possible for new people to find a home here at Augustana? Here are just a few things we're working on right now to address these stated priorities that you've provided through the survey. We're going to be working in the area of children and youth ministry quite a bit over these next several weeks. In fact, key staff will be meeting with parents and youth to reimagine what the scope of this ministry looks like. We'll be asking for people's ideas and their energy to help make this reimagination a reality. As part of this process, we'll also be looking at the best way we can equip and support families with meaningful faith practices and experiences in everyday life. We'll also be redesigning confirmation for the fall that focuses on engaging our young people in practical faith practices, fun experiences, meaningful relationships, and compassionate serving in our community. Another area we want to focus on is on hospitality and welcome. One of the key themes that came through the survey was a desire to strengthen our ministry of invitation and of hospitality. We know Augustana is a great place, and we want others to know that too. Hospitality is just as much about the culture that we set as it is about the programs that we have. So we'll be trying some things on Sunday mornings over the next several months, which can help us develop habits of welcoming new people and maybe even stretch us to be an invitational church. We all have a part to play in making Augustana what we want it to be. And as we look to the fall, we'll be looking to create some new small groups and occasional gatherings that allow us to strengthen our connections to one another and to new people and grow in faith with others. Finally, I just want to acknowledge that what is true for every church right now is that what once worked so well doesn't have the same impact it once did. Our culture has changed. We can't do anything about that, but as we look to the future, we want to attend to what is core in our Christian faith and to our community here at Augustana, and look at the ways that we do ministry that meet the reality of people's lives today. It's a different time to be the church, friends, but the church has always been reforming and always changing. God is calling us to a faithful imagination in this particular season. What hasn't changed is that God is faithful. I invite you to pray for the courage to follow where the Spirit leads us and to be part of this exciting season here at Augustana. Thanks for all that you do to make Augustana the incredible faith community that it is. I'll see you in worship. Peace.